So I kind of want to unpack the emotional aspects of healing that you kind of mentioned, because it does take a certain person to go through all of that and emerge on the other side. What have been your practices now that have been nourishing for you in this stage of your life?
I think like the first most important thing, like I say this to every, like up and coming entrepreneur, anyone who's starting out, is to nurture their community. First, it doesn't matter. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't meet because I'm working my new business. Can't talk, I'm raising money. Can't connect, can't come to your important event because I'm. Eventually your friends stop showing up for you.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, nurturing and supporting my community, my friends, was always at the top of my list.
And I feel like you're so good at that. Like
I'm
you
really
roll with like 50 to 100 people deep.
Yes, it's true, because they know that I'm so there for them. And I know that they're there for me. And so for me, like when friends experience things in their lives and they go through, like they know they can count on me. Like they know. And it's an endless pool of that. And I'm so proud of that, being a good friend that I am. And so as a result of that, when things happen, like these challenging things happen, it's like I went one whole year without being alone for one day, right? Someone come to my house with flowers, with food, with guitar, music.
Amazing.
I had friends come to my house, like 20 friends with a boombox.
Oh my God.
And like music, and they like flooded my like apartment at the time, and they danced around me while I cried in the middle, like holding the flowers they got me with a boombox playing. It was just like that kind of stuff.
Incredible.
That just like
incredible.
Non-stop of that level of love and support. My friend made me this painting with my disruptor poem on it and said, "Never forget who you are." Like it was just like all these. It was just like. It was endless, you know? And so
what an altar of like beauty.
It was just like, it was truly like that got me through it, because I was like, oh yeah, all that bullshit is noise. The people who know me and who I know love me and I love, like they just came. And then I got calls from every founder, like, CEO being like, just, this too shall pass. Like, congratulations. Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club.
Like everyone who's risen has gotten some level of takedown. Like, you're in, and
you're on the other side.
You're on the other side, or you're part of this like club, know, and turns out not that original after all. Like it happens to everyone who, does well in the world. And it doesn't make any sense. There's something called the tall poppy syndrome.
Okay, what's
where people
that?
want to basically like all the poppies, this is, true, it was kind of coined in Australia, because in Australia it's very pervasive, where like all the poppies are one sort of level, like, and as soon as one gets taller, they cut it down because it's too high. Everyone needs to be the same. And if you're not, then you're going to get taken down.
Ooh.
And so it's just this like culture of like mediocrity. It's just like not shining.
Right.
And not wanting to just push past push your limits.
Everyone needs to dim their light.
Needs to just dim their light. And so I think I just didn't again, I was not ready for it, for me to experience that kind of a sort of just dagger, in the heart. So
one of the things that like I've been researching a lot lately and kind of looking at the kind of the differences between when men go through something and women go through something. And it seems like, did you see a lot of other women going through it more than men?
For sure.
And
I mean, there's right now this whole thing around like, it's finally the end of the girl boss era, and it's like, there's this whole meme around like people wanting, like hating on female like leaders. We're still so deeply entrenched in the patriarchal conditioning.
Yeah.
And it's very, very difficult for women to see other women succeed.
So
and men see other women succeed.
So I'm going to circle back to that. Take us through what is this like whole takedown of the girl boss society?
I mean, it's just like you think about like, just like, one company after another, whether it's Rent the Runway or Away or, obviously my company or the leadership specifically of these companies, whether Sophia Amoroso, just like one after the other, outdoor voices. These are all just female leaders.
I mean, Meghan Markle on a very big level.
Yeah. Like anyone who shines, in a way that's threatening, people want to see them fail and laugh and just gleefully devour that takedown story. And it's like the rubbernecking of some accident of someone like Britney Spears.
Yeah.
People love to see the torment, and it's so low vibrational and so dark.
Yeah. And why is
it comes
that?
from a place of lack and of jealousy and envy. There's this
because I feel like women do it more towards women.
Because the problem is that we live in this deeply conditioned, like, patriarchal world where women think that they have to claw at each other for that one seat at the table.
Right, coming from the place
of lack.
Like there's not enough.
There's just not enough, so we have to claw for that one versus like elbowing multiple seats where we all have seats at the table.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just like, no, there's space for us
bringing
all.
everybody to the table.
We're all here. I've heard things like, powerful women don't like other powerful women. All of my best friends are powerful women.
Yeah. You do that so well. You bring every matriarch mama to the table.
I've connected you to Regina.
Yeah.
And bringing two powerhouses together as a way to connect.
No, you are an incredible person that does that. Yeah.
And so it's not like, it's something that I just love. I love powerful women. I love meeting other women who can teach me something, who can up-level me, and who can, and not make me feel smaller.
Right.
It's like, you make me, inspire. We always say, like, can we be inspired and not envious?
Right.
Can we want to up-level and not want to take down? Like, it's like, how do we change the system that's keeping us small? And the culture was created so that we live in a fear-based world.
Right, this whole patriarchy.
So that the patriarchy, the fear-based, like, this my land, like, before the Neolithic times, we lived in a world where hunter-gatherers, everyone hunted and gathered in tribes, just for what they needed. Everyone shared if they had more. If they killed a deer, they shared amongst families, and they're just enough for everyone. The minute that the Neolithic times and they started doing farming practices, and they said, well, this is my land, and I need to marry a virgin who I can pretty much own, and our offspring will own this land. And it became this, like, again, conditioned way of mine versus nothing belongs to any of us. We're all going to die.
Yeah.
Like, we're all going to end up like dust to dust.
Yeah.
Like, what is this game we're playing? And then all of a sudden, these systems and these ways and scale at all costs and cut others down so that this is mine and that's yours began. And
totally
that thus began this patriarchal masculine leadership, dominant leadership, versus the matrilineal era, the matriarchal conditioned societies. And, I talk about, the bonobo apes in my book as an example. And it's a quick story. Yeah. Which is where the bonobo apes, they operate as a matriarchy. I don't know if you know that.
No, I didn't know that.
So the bonobo apes are just such an incredible species and, mammals, because these female bonobos can completely change a culture in one generation. Here's how.
Okay.
They basically, whenever there's an aggressive male
Yeah.
that tries to get with a female bonobo, all the females come together and shun this aggressive male away.
Oh.
They will never procreate this aggressive male. They all agree never to procreate with an aggressive male. They will this aggressive male will die a lonely, miserable death by himself.
Oh my god.
He'll never get invited back in. And these bonobo apes only choose to procreate with the kindest, gentlest, most loving male bonobos.
Amazing.